Good evening. My name is Summer Wassif, and I would like this opportunity to thank Verna Lee Carr, founder of the Tree of Angels, for inviting me to share a message of hope on the 30th anniversary of the Tree of Angels. As we commemorate the 30th anniversary and remember all of your loved ones, I also reflect on the upcoming 30th anniversary of my own tragic loss. Words could never express the intense pain that a person goes through following the violent or sudden death of a loved one. For those of you that couldn't sleep last night, last week, or last month because you were missing your loved one, or awakened by yet another nightmare reminding you of what your loved one went through. You may have nights that you managed to fall asleep only to wake up the next morning feeling like a ton of bricks are on top of you, making you not want to get out of bed. And when you do, you drag around all day not wanting to eat or shower. You are not alone. If you've ever put something down in one place only to forget where you set it down 5 minutes later, or if you've been driving and so consumed by the trauma that you no longer recognize where you are not alone. Do you wonder when all the pain will go away? The sick feeling of a hole in your stomach and a lump in your throat, the uncontrollable tears, the fear, the anxiety, the anger, the hope that one day you will go back to a person you were before your loved one was killed. You are not alone. Have some of you gotten so frustrated with the criminal justice system, confused by the process you have been thrust into, a system that may not work for you as quickly as you would like, or reminding you that the offender has more rights than you? You can get so frustrated that you wish you could seek your own justice for your loved one. Do you feel that you are walking, breathing, eating, and living, but not really alive, like someone deflated all the joy, enthusiasm, and spirit out of you? I felt that way for close to 8 years, and sometimes I still do. On April 2nd, 1991, my mother, my unconditional love in this world, was murdered. I was 20 years old and attending college in Denton to become a social worker. My mother lived in Houston, and we would talk every few days. On April 6th, a Saturday afternoon, I called her. Her husband, who she had married 6 weeks prior, answered the phone. He casually spoke to me. Then his tone changed when I asked for my mom. He told me 2 armed robbers took her and the FBI was investigating. That's when my living hell began. I spent the next couple of days imagining my mom being tortured. Everything I'd ever seen on TV was becoming my reality. But in truth, that wasn't her reality. She had been murdered by her husband. I now had a monster in my life. He received a 30-year sentence after his attorney and the prosecutor worked out a plea. We were not told about it, so I never got to face the monster that killed my mom. I still have a monster in my life, and I always will, but I stand in front of you today as a reminder that there is hope. I spent many years in a fog, or what I heard another survivor describe as the living dead. I yearned for someone to take away all the pain. I prayed to God to take my life if He can't give me my mom back, but I'm still standing. One of the motivators that led to my survival was anger. I was angry at the world and the criminal justice system that I felt did not support me. My anger consumed me until I learned how to let it motivate me. I met with a parole board member 7 years after my mother's murder. I told him what happened to her, how I was treated, and how I felt the first 7 years after her murder. I'm so grateful for that board member. He listened to me, he cared, he educated me, and he connected me with resources to help, something no one else had done in the past. I protested the monster's parole 6 times to assure he serves his entire 30-year sentence. For that, I consider myself my mother's hero and a voice of justice. My anger also motivated me to obtain a master's degree in counseling and pursue a career helping others that have experienced a tragedy. I now work as a victim services counselor. I feel honored to be working with victims of crime and striving to make a difference in the lives of those that have been affected by the violence and selfish acts of others. I share with you what my journey of healing has taught me. Don't grieve alone. Surround yourself with people that won't judge you for how you feel or tell you you shouldn't feel the way you do. Forgiveness is a personal choice and not a mandate to healing. You get to make that choice. Altruism is the greatest gift a person can learn. You can overcome hopelessness or extreme sadness by doing an act of kindness for someone else, less fortunate than yourself. Putting a smile on someone else's face can only make you feel alive. Find something that symbolizes the strength you want for yourself. For me, it was a rock, because you can throw it and stomp on it and it will remain unbreakable, which is how I wanted to be. Tonight, we are here in memory of a loved one we've lost. This event may hold a different meaning to each of you, but one thing that we all have in common is we are not alone in our pain. We have a unique pain. As we commemorate the 30th Tree of Angels in Travis County, I realize that I'm quickly approaching the 30th anniversary of my mother's murder. Other than finding hope, I have also learned that I am not alone. I hope that you will always have someone to care for you along your journey of grief, someone to hold you up, someone to let you know that no matter how much it hurts, you will be okay. I also hope that advocates listening to me tonight recognize that genuine compassion, kindness, a loving ear, or a gentle touch make a tremendous impact in healing those that experience traumatic losses. Again, thank you to Verna Lee Carr and People Against Violent Crime for the honor. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Pastor Heidi Bounds, and on behalf of Central Christian Church, we are so thankful to host the Tree of Angels service each and every year. Although this year looks much different, we want each of you to know that you are with us in spirit. Let us gather now for a moment of prayer. God of all people, God of compassion, and God of love, may you watch over each of us and weave out of terrible events both goodness and grace. Surround each of those who have been shaken by tragedy with a sense of your love and hold them in faith. Lord, never let us forget those we have lost. Give us strength to carry on and to honor them in our daily lives. Today, we pray for peace. Peace in our hearts, in our homes, in our nation, and in our world. The peace of your will, the peace that each of us needs. Lord, please watch over each of us until we gather again. Amen.
My name is David Funderburg, and I'm with People Against Violent Crime, and will now read the proclamation from Governor Abbott. Many think of the holiday season as a time of joy and celebration. Tragically, this time of year can often be incredibly difficult for the victims of violent crime and the families and loved ones who support them. In order to help ease this burden and spread compassion for those affected, communities across Texas participate in Tree of Angels events each year. This comforting and informative tradition invites surviving victims of violent crime, their families, and the families who have lost loved ones to violent crime to place an angel ornament on a special Christmas tree. These angels are not only beautiful, but also symbolize the value of community and support shown by Texans across the state. This gesture holds a special meaning for everyone participating in this moving service. Though it is a small act, hanging angels from this tree help support and comfort Texans whose lives have been forever altered by violent crime. The ceremony demonstrates the heartfelt compassion these communities have for those who are hurting and in need, and hopefully alleviates just a small part of the trauma, pain, and sorrow caused by violent crime. At this time, I encourage all Texans to support crime victims, their families, and those who work to prevent these crimes from taking place. As a state, our continued goal is to ensure the safety and security of all Texans, as well as timely and effective justice, and to bring healing to victims and their loved ones. Therefore, I, Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas, do hereby recognize December 1st through the 7th of 2020 to be Tree of Angels Week in Texas, and urge the appropriate recognition whereof. In official recognitions whereof, I affix this seal to my signature on the 4th day of November of 2020.
Go. Oh, Danny boy. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you must go and I will bide. But come ye back when the summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be there when the summer are in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
My name is Danelle Williams with People Against Violent Crime. As we light these 4 candles in honor of our loved ones, we light one for our grief, one for our courage, one for our memories, and one for our love. This candle represents our grief. The pain of losing you is intense. It reminds us of the depth of our love for you. This candle represents our courage to confront our sorrow and to comfort each other. This candle is in your memory. We light this candle for the times we've laughed, the times we've cried, the times we were angry with each other, the funny things you did, the caring and joy you gave us. This candle is the light of love. As we enter this holiday season, day by day, we cherish the special place in our hearts that will always be reserved for you. We thank you for the gift your life brought to each of us. We love you.
My name is Verna Lee Carr, and I'm with People Against Violent Crime. And although we cannot come together in person, we still come together to honor your loved ones during this most holy season. The importance of the Tree of Angels tradition and the love we still carry is a testament to the strength we will not forget. As we stand in solidarity with the families who have lost loved ones by acts of violence, we pay tribute to your courage, your resilience, and fortitude. Over the years, the Tree of Angels tradition has been adopted by many counties throughout the state of Texas. We now want to recognize those communities who have come together to honor and pay tribute to the victims of violent crime. Without further ado, a montage of these counties' Tree of Angels will now scroll to the tradition closing song of Silent Night.